Howdy y'all, and welcome to the MrMaple Show. I'm Tim, and today we're bringing you 10 of the 20 trees getting listed today at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on May 13th of 2025. Get excited.
Man, guys, we always are trying to find the coolest plants we can find to bring to these 10 at 10s. There's actually 20 trees on each of these days that we do our 10 at 10s, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So make sure you sign up for that weekly email. It's a great way for you to find out what we're listing throughout the week. We have all kinds of other sales on our website as well. And so make sure you pay attention to what we got going on.
Guys, let's get into it. Today, starting off, we've got a rare Acer species. We've got Acer robustum. I love this species.
Yeah, this thing is really, really cool. I love how it's got that rounded leaf to it. It really gives you kind of a feel of almost like a Shirasawanum type leaf. The way that leaf is nice and round, the lobes are short, but really cool texture to it. I love that about the leaf shape. Good, strong, upright grower as well.
Yeah, this is a tree that whenever I first found out about it, one of our good mentors, Tony Aiello, he said, guys, we've got this specimen and it's beautiful. It's got gorgeous orange fall color. It was wild collected. We're like, okay, let's graft it. And then we started realizing that all the species have this great orange fall color. Sometimes this is called Acer robustum, Acer seriferum. I think they've even put maybe Acer annuense or something like that. Some new, it's hard to keep up with how much they're changing the names on the maples. But Acer robustum is how we originally got this tree. I love this species because it's beautiful. It's got great fall color. And guys, it can be frost resistant in the early spring. I've seen this tree fully in leaf and it has, frost all across the garden, and Acer robustum doesn't get damaged. It's got a superpower. I'm so excited. This is a beautiful species. And you're right, it's got a really nice full moon maple-like leaf. But at the same time, if you told me it had a Menum-like leaf, I could almost see that too. So it's somewhere in between. Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a rock star among the species. And I can't wait to develop more with the species.
Yeah, really cool plant. I love the idea of starting to get into collecting species of maples. We're all into the cultivars, but sometimes you can kind of break away from that mold and get into the species, straight species of all the different varieties of maples out there. And this, I think, is one that you definitely need, especially if you're looking for a strong orange fall color, something to put out there maybe by your Osakazuki, something like that to contrast with, would be a great pairing for that.
Guys, next up, we got Hanamatoi.
Dude, this is an amazing lace leaf Japanese maple. I mean, I think this was kind of the one that has the most exciting features when it comes to lace leaves. I mean, think of like Lillian's Jewel, that really strong, prominent white and pink variegation on it, but this is in a lace leaf form. Nice weeping, cascading, a variety. Absolutely love Hanamatoi.
Yeah, selection by Yataka Tanaka at Tsukasa Maple. Amazing weeping selection. Yano in his book says this is perhaps the best variegated weeping maple of all time. And I agree with him. It is amazing. It's beautiful. And it's just, push this in with some sunlight and you get some cherry reds in there with that pink variegation. There's nothing quite like a Hanamatoi.
Yeah, I really like that you brought up the sunlight because you can kind of play around with the color spectrum on this tree depending on how much shade you give it versus your sunlight. You do want to protect this from the hot afternoon sun though, because you have a lot of white variegation in it. You don't want to get that too far out into the sun. But if you kind of push it, you can really get some hot pinks. You get it tucked into some shade, you get some nice cream whites with some soft pinks in there as well. And the fall color on this thing is really cool because where you have your variegation, you have slightly variances in the colors of red versus pink. And so your fall color is kind of a multicolor as well, playing off of that variegation.
Now these that we're listing today, they're grafted up about 10 to 14 inches, somewhere in that range. They make a great container plant as well. You can take this tree and put it up on your patio, this Japanese maple, and just have that weeping dramatic effect out of a container. Make sure you've got good drainage. Japanese maples are good zones 5 through 9. In a container, you got to remember we're going to be 6 through 9. You basically take it up a zone whenever you put it in a container. But drainage is key. This is such a beautiful next level Japanese maple. They're going to sell out quickly, so make sure you jump on them quick.
Yeah, these are some great sizes. I love that we have these staked up. You can keep staking that if you want to kind of create a more like a fountain effect with these, which would be really cool to see one staked up pretty tall and let it kind of fountain down around with that beautiful variegation. Great sizes. Don't sleep on these.
Guys, next up, we got Shindojo.
Man, this is a crazy, crazy plant. Its spring color, I think, is like one of the best out there when it comes to just lighting up a space in your garden. Really gives it almost like a flowering effect out there. You know, it definitely puts on a bright pink to red. Sometimes it even has a little bit of yellow in the veining in the eye of it. You check out some of those pictures that we have on our website. It really, really stands out. Especially if you're going to try to create some contrast in your garden. The spring color on this thing is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, you typically get a fire engine red in the spring and a fire engine red in the fall. And you get this change of the season in between where you get a green color with some red new growth there in the summer. You know, some environmental conditions can actually give you some variations in that spring time frame. Say it's getting down below freezing when this tree's first leafing out, or it's getting down close to frost. You can almost get some yellows in there as well, which is crazy. From like yellows to like pink reds. So it's kind of cool how the environment can actually change some of the spring color on Shindojo. But it's one of the most popular trees for bonsai. People will often take Dosojo or Shindojo, turn them into bonsai because it has the change of the season. And it's one of the most intense spring colors of any of the Japanese maples, and one of the most intense fall colors. So you get dramatic effects in the landscape or as a bonsai or container.
Yeah, really cool tree. I think it creates a nice kind of ball shape as well, kind of a bell shape whenever it gets good size. So it has a nice presence in the garden as well. And I think, you know, what's cool is, that, like you said, the changing throughout the seasons. You get into those summer months, you get a little bit of that olive color underneath, and then with that kind of pink blush over top. Really cool plant. I think that, you know, it's a very popular plant. As soon as we list this, usually it sells out really quick. Everybody wants a Shindojo. Really cool bonsai like you talked about. That's something I'm into. So I need to start considering maybe doing a Shindojo for that.
Next up, we got the tree with a pretty bad name, but an amazing tree. We got Scolopendraium.
Yeah, we always joke around about this. It sounds like some nasty disease that you really don't want to catch. But this is definitely one you want in your garden. I mean, you can kind of have a laughing joke about this tree out there. But, I mean, with a bad name, it really does put on a great show. You know what I mean? Like, this thing has that classic linear lobum style leaf on it, which really provides an interesting texture when it comes to Japanese maples. You compare this with a lot of different things in your garden, and I think just the way that leaf shape is, it's going to really stand out. Plus, it's got some great fall color as well.
Now, Scolopendraium, we do believe is the same as linear lobum, and we also believe it's the same as Shinabagaoka. None of those names are really that great, but it's got a good strong habit, good vigorous form. It gives that sort of essence of like a bamboo out there, like a bamboo tree out there, and it is beautiful. It blows in the wind with the leaves. To me, it's an exceptional upright Japanese maple. Just some really nice yellows and oranges in the fall. One cool thing about this is when you grow one of these up, 2% of the seedlings look like fairy hair. This is the mother tree to fairy hair. So you can look through and find fairy hair like seedlings. It's a small percentage, but you can find fairy hair like seedlings off of Scolopendraium.
That's really cool.
I mean, JD Veritrees did it, and his was called Koto Ito Kamachi, not the Koto Ito Kamachi that's in the trade. And then Talon Buchholz did it, and he found fairy hair. So, I mean, so cool that there's this chance reoccurring seedling, and I've seen multiple other seedlings that have came off of Scolopendraium with that fairy hair-like trait.
Yeah, really cool. I love the linear lobum style Japanese maples. I think they just have such an interesting texture. I like to play around with them. I was thinking in my mind this would be a great pairing with something like Pungkil, which is a red linear lobum style. Really play off of those two different textures and colors, and you get these crazy bold yellows and oranges in the fall with this, and then get your bold reds with Pungkil. It would be a great pairing, and both of those and those playing off those textures I think would be really nice.
Brian, you want to try to pronounce that species?
Go ahead, Tim. I'll let you run with that one.
Guys, next up we've got Parthenocissus quinifolia star showers. This is a Virginia creeper that's variegated, and it's got splotched white variegation, and sometimes it's got so much white variegation you wonder if it's a white leaf that's got green variegation or a green leaf that's got white variegation.
Right. Yeah, me and Tim were doing a rock, paper, scissors to see who would have to say that name to start this thing out. I'm glad I won because Tim had to pull that off. But Star Showers is really cool. I love that strong variegation that it has on it. Really plays into kind of just making that leaf stand out even more. Sometimes a Virginia creeper can kind of get lost in the landscape just being a green, but this really brings it out with some nice little pink hues, white, cream colors in there with that green. It really does make it stand out. In
the white garden at the J.C. Rowson, I saw this plant for the very first time, and I said to Matt, I want it.
Yeah.
I want that plant. It's beautiful. It's easy to grow. It's a nativar. So this is a variegated selection of a native.
Yeah, this is such a great plant. You know, this is something you could put over a nice arbor out in your garden, like an entryway. I was even thinking, you know, I'm always looking at applications for my own garden. I was thinking I have a nice staircase that comes up to my deck. Would really look nice, kind of creeping up the stair railing that leads up to the deck. Really create a cool pop of color there. So there's so many different ways you can use this.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. That is actually how they were doing it at the J.C. Rowson.
Oh, nice.
Was trying to run it over a trellis. And that is the area at the Arboretum where they have weddings. I mean, this is a next level showy tree and showy plant that is beautiful. If you've got something for it to run on, this will make an amazing variegated showy piece that's just going to be something dynamic in your garden.
Really cool plant. All right, guys, next up, we got a really cool cultivar. This is Acer Pseudosabalan Ukigumo.
The floating clouds Japanese maple.
I mean, this thing is next level. When it comes to variegated Japanese maples, I think this is kind of like the holy grail, in my opinion. You know, when you can get those years where this thing turns white, it's really unbelievable. I mean, I've seen photos on there. I'm like, how is this even possible that it could be that white? And some of those pictures that we have on our website, you guys should definitely check those out. Now, that's a seasonal thing. Sometimes you can have better performance on that, depending on what your setting is on this. It really does like some dappled shade, give it some protection from the hot afternoon sun. You want it to leaf out really slowly so that variegation becomes more prominent as the leaf comes out. I have one tucked into the shade of my front garden, and it's looking really nice this year, and I was all excited. I'm like, yes, I'm having a white Ukigumo year. I'm excited about that.
Now, also avoid heavy amounts of fertilizer in the early spring with Ukigumo, because fertilizer promotes chlorophyll, which is the green part of the leaf.
Yep.
So you're going to get less white if you fertilize a lot with your Ukigumo. Such a beautiful selection. In the years that it doesn't, or even the years that it does, you still get an amazing fall color. So no matter what, you get an amazing fall color Japanese maple that gives you some really nice yellows and oranges, even in the years it doesn't give you a white. So it's not like you really lose out in the years that it doesn't. You just have some years that look even better.
Yeah. I mean, that's so true. I think the fall color on this is super underrated. Definitely one that you could play around with, you know, thinking about fall color as well as spring with that white interest. So, you know, contrast in the garden, this thing can do a lot of things. I love the leaf shape on it too. It's got a nice, deeply divided lobe on that. So it gives it an interesting texture along with those amazing spring and fall colors.
Cool.
Drum roll.
Guys, we're dropping for the first time on MrMaple.com a tree all y'all been waiting for. It's going to sell out quickly, so make sure you do check out quickly with this tree. This is Mawa Yatabusa. This is a heavily sought after Mawa Yatabusa variation.
Oh man, you guys make sure you stretch your clicking fingers and get ready to roll, because when this thing hits, everybody's going to want one. The Mawa variances are some of the most popular plants right now in America. I mean, you can't keep these in stock. It's just everybody has to have them in their collection. And there's so many different varieties out there now, right? But Mawa, I think, has one of the coolest like stories that I like to think about when it comes to maples. Just kind of get into that mad scientist kind of mindset of like, what can we create with something like this? Because there's so many variances and you're always trying to find something that's going to stand out from everything else.
Yeah. So the legend goes that Keith Johansson had a Moonrise coming off the truck from Carl Munn. And, you know, the trademark name on Moonrise is Munn001. And he looked over and saw Mawa Yatabusa, and both the Moonrise and the Mawa had flowers on it. So he hand pollinated one off the other. And the result was Mawa Yatabusa. He looked through those seedlings and found the one that had the most Moonrise-like characteristics. and you can get some orangish new growth and some sort of lemon lime colors on this unique Mawa Yatabusa variation.
Oh man, you know, you tie those two things together, something like Keith and then Carl Munn, those two guys. I mean, just thinking about those two amazing nurserymen who have put together a plant with, you know, these two trees coming together to create Munkawa. I think it's a really cool story, really cool concept. And it really does have some nice flushes that remind me of Moonrise. That's one of my favorite trees is the Moonrise. And this definitely has some reminiscence of those colors, those kind of apricot, kind of peach tones to it. Really cool. I love, even right now, we're kind of getting into those late spring and still got some nice flush of color coming on.
Now, is this an Acer Pseudosabalan? I don't really know. We have never done any genetic testing to prove that that's actually what happened, to prove that Mawa Yatabusa wasn't already pollinated. But the proof is that he was looking for something that had moonrise-like qualities in a Mawa, and he found something that has moonrise-like qualities in a Mawa Yatabusa form. And so this is such a unique selection. Again, guys, check out quickly. We will be working hard to make this available again if you don't get one today. Our goal is to always work hard to increase numbers on many of these Mawa Yatabusa variations in that family.
Yeah, definitely one you definitely have to have in your collection. You know, I'm always thinking of, might need one of these myself, but I'll save as many of them for you guys as I possibly can.
Guys, next up, we've got Acer Pseudosabalan Islid.
Really cool plant, man. This is one that I have some experience with. I grew this back in Oklahoma in my garden there. And this one really stood out to me. I think when it comes to lace leaves, especially in the green lace leaf category, you're always looking for something that set itself apart. And what I always loved about Islid is that the leaf on it, I felt like was always a bigger leaf, kind of very reminiscent of like a dissectum of a japonicum. You know, it has a really prominent leaf to it, so it gives it a great texture on this thing. Nice cascading, mounding habit to it as well, and very cold tolerant.
Yeah, I mean, the fall colors are really electric as well. You get some really nice yellows and oranges and reds. It gets you everything you love about a Pseudosabalan and everything you love about a lace leaf all in one. It can actually grow to zone 4, so that means it can go down to negative 30 degrees during those winter months. That is crazy. That is awesome. People in a zone 4 can now experience a lace leaf Japanese maple.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love that we're pushing those limits as far as what we can get into different landscapes throughout the country. We have a lot of folks up north that shop with us here at MrMaple. So this is definitely one that if you're living in those colder climates and you're looking for a cultivar, I highly suggest this one. I love the spring color on this thing. Can come out a nice kind of pink orange color. Really finely dissected leaf as well. I mean, this thing just puts on a crazy show throughout the season. And it has a very rigid structure too. I remember I had mine, it was probably about this tall on mine. It had a very nice rigid structure to it. I think it's that Pseudosabalan that just really kind of brings that rigid structure to it. And I love the big lace leaf on it. Looks really cool.
I mean, you don't have to be in a zone 4 to enjoy Islid. I mean, it is so beautiful. Again, everyone loves the fall colors on Pseudosabalanums, and here you get one of the best fall color Japanese maples on a lace leaf. So it's a win-win all the way around. I think this is a tree you'll definitely enjoy.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I grew this in full sun in Oklahoma. So, I mean, this thing can handle the heat just as well as it can handle the cold. So it's a very versatile plant. You use it in a lot of different places.
Guys, next up, we have what's going to be a very popular tulip poplar. Guys, you know I love the color yellow. Here we've got Glenn's Gold.
Man, this is really cool. As soon as we got this out to start talking about it, I was thinking about the native poplars that we have here in this area. It's a very prominent tree, especially in North Carolina landscape. There's some beautiful, beautiful ones that I went and seen out at the Joyce Kilmer Forest. That's some of the oldest growth of forest still left here in this side of the country. Some of the biggest trees on this side of the country as well. I mean, these things were massive. The trunks on them were just huge. And so when I saw this, it just brought me back to that moment when me and my wife went and hiked through there. Really cool experience. And to think of having a golden form of the poplar, really cool.
I mean, those trees that you're talking about at Joyce Kilmer Forest, those trees are hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
And I don't really know exactly how old, but they're really, really old. I mean, my wife's from Robbinsville, where Joyce Kilmer
Yeah,
Natural Forest
exactly,
is.
yeah.
And so her family's out there, and I go hike those all the time. And the fact that here we have a nativar that's going to be a fast-growing tree out there in the landscape, give you good yellow leaves out there, you're going to have a statement. And one thing I love about tulip poplars is they shoot up straight. They make a perfect, nice, sort of perfect tree out there in the landscape. And with this, you get amazing yellow foliage. You get the same blooms that everybody loves about tulip poplars that are almost they're in the magnolia family.
Yeah, it does look very reminiscent of that.
You get that magnolia-like bloom on this. And then again, tulip poplars are known for their yellow fall color. So you get yellow leaves, yellow, 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 right?
If it's going yellow, yellow, you know Tim loves it.
This poplar is going to be super popular. I'm telling you.
It definitely is. I mean, I think about this as if you have a large space in your garden, you're needing a big tree out there. This is definitely for those larger gardens. You want to give this plenty of room to grow. But yeah, I mean, giving a flower interest to your garden as well, I think sometimes that's forgotten about in the landscape. You want to try to add these different types of textures and colors and fragrance and flowering things. So the tulip poplar, I think, is a really cool way to do that.
Now, guys, before we get into the next tree, I want to tell you, we got an open house coming up. That's going to be May 26th, Memorial Day. It's just a few weeks away. It's going to be from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We got cool trees. We got lots of people who love gardening just like you do. Make some good friends there. And we got Jim Putnam coming to speak. So it's going to be a blast. It's going to be awesome.
Man, the open houses, I think, are some of my favorite times of the year. When all of my friends come out, we get to hang out, talk about plants. I take everybody around that I can get, man. I say, Brian, where's this? Where's this? Let me find this. So I get excited about it because you get to come and shop inside these greenhouses. A lot of times it's a unique opportunity for you to come in and hand select different cultivars that may not even be available on the website. So a lot of times we bring out special things to get people kind of excited that, you know, they have kind of an exclusive access when they come to an open house. I think it's the prime time to come and hang out with all your plant friends. And come say hi to me and Tim.
Guys, lastly here today, we've got a tree everyone's been waiting to come back to the website. We've got Ulmus parviflora mottled molly. Woo. And I love the elms, but when you get that variegation in there, this makes a beautiful tree for the landscape that's going to add that extra flair.
Yeah, and the size on these things are absolutely amazing. You know, don't sleep on these. I think these are going to go quick just based on the size itself, let alone the cultivar. I mean, a elm tree with variegated leaves, really cool. And it has a nice style of variegation as well, like a sand dusting. Each leaf is a little bit different. The way that variegation lays on the leaf gives it a super interesting color and texture out there in the garden, and a really prominent tree for the landscape.
Elms are easy to grow. They're durable. They're often used as street trees. The fact that you can take an elm that has this amazing white variegation and add something beautiful in your garden is amazing. It's going to be a durable tree, easy to grow. Guys, it's going to have that amazing form that everybody loves with many of the elms and the Ulmus parvifloras. But you get that extra flair, that extra just showiness of that white on the foliage, which gives you a really nice interest spring, summer, and then in the fall, you get some nice yellows.
Yeah, very vigorous grower too. You can expect a foot or over a foot of growth a year on this thing. I mean, so it can get out there really quick. So if you're needing to fill up a space in your landscape or garden area, this can get there pretty quick. Yeah, and I mean, the elm trees are just a great presence in the garden. And variegated leaf, I mean, I'm kind of a sucker for variegation, especially this style of variegation. The sand dusting is incredible. You definitely want to get your camera out and start taking pictures when this thing starts to leaf out, because it looks amazing.
And guys, we've got some really nice XXL 1 gallons right now on mottled molly. Take advantage of these killer sizes. Y'all, appreciate y'all jumping in today for today's 10 at 10. These trees get listed at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with those other secret 10 that you can find in your weekly email. Don't forget that open house, May 26th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's going to be a blast here at MrMaple.com. We appreciate y'all jumping in today.
Yeah, it's so good to be back at the farm here with all of my Mr. Maple family. Good to shoot a 10 at 10 with my brother Tim over here. It's so cool to be out in the greenhouses, just experiencing the crazy wide world of plants. You guys get excited about this. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because we're always doing cool content. Every day of the week, we do a new video for you guys, and we're doing all kinds of stuff. We do garden tours, we do 10 at 10s, cultivar highlights. I mean, we get crazy with it. I mean, every single day we have a new video, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
Take care
God bless.
and have a great day.